then you will truly be success.
Turn the page.
And we know all things work together for the good.
Gotta work together.
The good.
Gotta work together. Oh.
And we know all things work together for the good.
Gotta work together.
The good to those who love God.
Keep God's word on your lips.
To those who are called.
Meditate on it day and night.
According to His
Be careful
purpose.
to do what
Purpose.
He says.
It's His purpose, not mine. And we know all things work together for the good.
Gotta work together.
The good.
Gotta work together. Oh.
And we know all things work together for the good.
Gotta work together.
The good. To those who love God.
Keep God's word on your lips.
To those who are called.
Meditate on it day and night.
According to His
Careful
purpose.
to do what
Purpose.
He says.
It's His purpose, not mine. We are reading from John, the 11th chapter, the 38th through the 44th verse. If you're ready, shout, I'm ready. Jesus, once more deeply moved, came to the tomb. It was a cave with a stone laid across the entrance. Take away the stone, he said. But Lord, said Martha, the sister of the dead man, by this time there is a bad odor, for he has been there 4 days. Then Jesus said, Did I not tell you that if you believe, you will see the glory of God? So they took away the stone. Then Jesus looked up and said, Father, I thank you that you have heard me. I knew that you always hear me, but I said this for the benefit of the people standing here, that they may believe that you sent me. When he had said this, Jesus called in a loud voice, Lazarus, come out. The dead man came out, his hands and feet wrapped with strips of linen and a cloth around his face. Jesus said to them, take off the grave clothes and let him go. And that ends our reading for today. Day 62, and I'm going to start the theme song. Y'all need to sing it with me. It's a rare condition this day and age to read any good news on the new paper page. Love and tradition of the grand design. Some people say it's even harder to find.
It's a rare condition this day and age to read any good news on the newspaper page. And love and tradition of the grand design, some people say it's even harder to find. Well, then there must be some magic clue inside these gentle walls, 'cause all I see is a tower of dreams, real love bursting out of every scene. As days go by, it's the bigger love of the family.
So yesterday we talked about Family Feud. Today I want to talk about Family Matters. Very simply, family matters. So every family matter shouldn't remove the reality that family matters. There was a whole movement that started because Black Lives Matter needed to tell the world, don't leave us out. And I want to spin off of that same sentiment. Don't leave out family matters when you think about your mission in the world. What you do in your family, it matters. And I want to return right back to this conversation we started with Mary, Martha, and Lazarus, because Martha is overwhelmed, Mary is over spiritual, and Lazarus is nowhere to be found. What's the matter with your family that you need to pay attention to? Because parenting does not come with a handbook. Marriages do not come with an answer key in the back of the pages. At some point, you've got to make your family matters just as much as you want your position in the world, your platform, your PhD, your pedigree, or whatever else you think matters matter. You need to make it matter. I heard Bishop T.D. Jakes say this: there are many things that compete for my attention, but I have to make sure that the things that matter most to me don't go a week without me giving carved, intentional time toward that. And Mary, Martha, and Lazarus, they are a prototype. They are an example for how we can so easily get lost in the stuff outside of our house that we're not paying attention to the people in our house. And the reality is, my friends, when you take your last breath, I promise you it won't be your boss sitting there holding your hand. When you decide that you are now going to trust God and transition from one state to the next, I promise you, you won't be surrounded by friends that love you. You'll be surrounded by family members who sometimes don't even hear from you. Today, who have you not given attention to that God wants you to tell today you matter? Work on the inside and watch God fix the outside. The last thing I want to say is that at the end of the day, Jesus cares more about your faith than he does about your fantasy. Mary, Martha, and Lazarus get mad at Jesus because in their minds, Jesus should have come. And Jesus was saying, I needed to wait until the thing died so that you could believe I am still the God of the resurrection. There are some difficult seasons that have happened in your life that you wish had never happened, but I promise you, God works all things together for the good. So your assignment as a father is to tell your daughter you matter. Your assignment as a wife is to tell your spouse you matter. Your assignment as a cousin, a nephew, an auntie is to make sure that every family member matters more than your income, more than your popularity, more than the public performance that we often slide into when we want to make an impression with the world. My grandmother would say it like this: give your flowers to those you love while they are alive and they can still smell them. So I want you to do that today so that you never get caught up in all the big stuff, that you forget the people who sit across from you at the dinner table every single night. Let's get to work.
So we sing in church. The whole earth is filled. The whole earth is filled. Filled with your glory. Woo! Filled with your glory. Say the whole earth. The whole earth is filled. Yes, Lord. The whole earth is filled. The whole earth is filled. Say filled with your glory. Filled with your glory. Yes, Lord. Filled with your glory. Say it again. The whole earth is filled. The whole earth is filled. Come on, let it fill your atmosphere. The whole earth is filled. It's filled with your glory. Filled with your glory. It's filled with your glory. Filled with your glory. Your love is alive. Yeah. Your love is alive. Your love is beating your side. Inside of my heart and my soul and my mind. Your love is alive. Fill us with your glory.